People, we are back again. Sunday edition. Car talk, mental. We got Jazzy, and
What's up? What's up?
here we go again, at it again. Just thinking about we've been doing the show for so long. Um, it just came to me, Jazzy. We've been doing the show for so long. What do you think the best show in your mind, or the best topic that we've ever talked about? I got mine, but I want to know what yours is.
I think the best one was when we did the nutrition.
Nutrition.
Mhm. With Miss let's see, Miss Hood.
Okay.
She had on I think she had on all yellow, and she was talking about her that she had cancer, and that she lost she did the diet, and she start changed her whole diet,
Hmm.
and then she got cured from it, and then she was
Lost the dis-ease or that extra weight.
and then she started talking about like she has a practice, and that you can go on their website, and she got nutrition plans and all of that stuff. I
Can
think
you
that
remember the website? What the name of it is?
no, but the
Not
next time we
offhand.
come, no, but her name is Sherelle Sherelle Hood. It's she
Okay.
on Facebook, and you can go there and look it up. And she was that's one of the most memorable. But Miss Dee was one of the first. That was good too. When she told us when we got the whole ideal about being Judas did his part.
Right. He had a
That
part
one
to
was
play.
yeah, that was a
Everyone has a part to play.
I mean, but and Miss Visa came on, that was good. And it was good
Yeah.
when we all had all of us on when we did the book of when we did Elijah. When all of us we studied Elijah for like a week or two,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. And
and then all our spiritual brothers and sisters was on at once. And that was fire too. But there's so many because after we get finished with one, every time we was like, yo, that's the best one. That's the
yeah.
best one. Every time we did one, we was just like, that's the best one. But I mean, they all play a dear part in my heart, and I still need to go ahead and convert even the audio ones that we did before we started doing the video. That's the one, like I said, in the early stages when we had Miss BB on. That was
Mhm.
fire, man. But I'm thankful, and like I said, we do this every day, even if it's not a Sunday, or a podcast. We still talk. This is my spiritual brother. I mean, and ever since I've been, you know, communing with him on a daily basis, my spirituality has grown so much. I am thankful, and I learn a lot in my practice studies. I do need to go a little bit harder because I've been slacking a
Have
little
you been
bit.
reading the book?
Like I said, I
Oh
need
my God.
to.
You done got the book. The book done came to you sitting in your lap. You won't turn the
Hey,
page. That's a damn
I
shame.
no, you know what, man? Like when I say, I thought I was gonna have more time when I got off night shift.
So
I
that
was like,
means
man,
you done fell off of controlling time, huh? You only control time no more?
a little bit. Yeah, that's why I said I got to get back into a lot of my practices because this it was like a whole universe switch. Like just trying to get adjusted to go ahead and work at mornings. Man, I tell you that
Mhm.
is
Nope.
I
This is what you do.
getting
Give
up at three
yourself,
thirty.
nope, give yourself 15 to 30 minutes at night before you go to bed, open the book up. And that'll be when it'll register most because you'll take it into your REM sleep with you. So you'll have
Mm-hmm,
to do less reading, but you'll get the maximum amount, if
mm-hmm.
that makes sense.
Hey, and it does. It does. And the thing is too, like when I tell you about getting I'm learning how to master time during the day. I had it down pack at night, but during the day, getting up at 3:30 in the morning, it's tough.
It's all gonna be breath control, reclaiming
Yeah,
your breath. You
yeah.
reclaim your breath, you power the spirit.
I
It's
mean,
that simple.
everything is new. Even like as far as like listening to books and podcasts, because at work I used to do it all day. Now I'm busy. I can't even go ahead and,
So
so
because now you have more, you're in two worlds now. You're double busy because you're in one world trying to do something, but still trying to maintain the next.
Mhm,
You understand what I'm saying? Now this is where breath control becomes even more important. So it stops anxiety and depression.
mhm,
All right. When you start breathing at a certain rate, you got to start consciously breathing at about 9 breaths per minute.
mhm,
That's that steady breath. That's that mental breath where you can read, you can absorb all that. When you're about, before you go to sleep, you start to trend into that 9 breaths per minute.
mhm,
Then boom, when you hit Zen, you jump right back up because you be deep sleep. And the deeper the sleep, the more the energy the body needs. What is the energy? It's the air. Air is energy. How you treat the air or manipulate the air in your body is how you get energy through the systems because air is energy. If you stop breathing, I guarantee you won't be alive for long.
mhm.
You can go without alcohol. I mean, alcohol. You can go without beverages, or you can go without water. You
Food,
can go without food, but you stop breathing,
mhm, like a fish
vital,
out of water.
vital. So that means there's something in the air. And in the book of Chinese medicine, they call it the Kwai, that vital principle that you pull out of the air. And if you manipulate it, that's how the Chinese artists used to break through bricks and break through wood and all that. They manipulate the energy in the air. They focus it in the solar plex. That's your stomach, your spleen. They squeeze it and squeeze it. And what you're doing is when you're squeezing this air, you're causing it to be more potent. Then you restrict its movement. Remember, we talked about the restrictive breath. You restrict its movement. You squeeze the stomach so when you breathe out, you're only breathing out that which you don't need. Then when it comes back in, it's a full belly again. Then you squeeze it down. Then you breathe out with like you're trying to stop yourself from going to the bathroom, peeing. Squeeze down and breathe out. And you can feel the difference. Then you do that successfully, and that empowers the body. It oxygenates the inner you. That's the only thing you really need to do if you ever get sick. You do that breath technique and you will not be sick for long because it kills oxygenated environments, kills disease or dis-ease. If you even know how to breathe right. You got a lot of us that breathe through the mouth breathers. Chest goes up and down. That's a shallow breath. That means you're not getting all the energy you need to go to the solar plex to have higher thoughts and higher thinking. So you are easily emotional controlled. This is how we see people. This is once you get to knowing Jazzy. This is how I actually look. I'm watching people. I'm seeing what's going on. When they only breathe from the upper lungs, you have two sets. You have an upper and a lower. Most people, when they shallow breathe from the mouth, they always move up. They're only getting half the energy they can get. If you ever ran track, you ever played an instrument, they always teach you how to breathe. From the stomach, you breathe when pot belly stomach, breathe that stomach out, that automatically infills the upper portion of your lungs.
Even when you lift weights, you go to work out. You know what I'm saying? They tell you you have to breathe because most of the time you try to hold your breath or clench your stomach, and they like, no, you got to breathe. You have to breathe. Everything requires breath because that's
Breath
spirit.
manipulation.
That's spirit.
Before you get hit, you tense up. What do? You stop breathing.
Hmm.
When
What
you're
is
in the
breath?
zone, you don't even know you're breathing.
Hmm. And what is breath? Spirit. So
That life force.
mhm, very key. Very key.
And that's part of the creator, the father's plan that everything that there is, the father is in.
Mhm. So with that,
Every consciousness, every personality,
mhm,
every plant, every bee, everything.
mhm,
I am that I am. I am the highest of me and I am the lowest of me. Everything is a reflection of me,
mhm. That's key with everything going forward in spirituality is just recognize that everything is within you.
a
I mean,
reflection of me.
that's the whole thing. Like even when you read the Bible, that's where it's telling you to go inward. A lot of people. That's the key part that they miss out of everything that even like in Christ Christ when they call Christ's teachings was teaching you to go inward, because that's where everything is. So within, so as within, so without, so the whole thing is if we learn to go ahead and key in, even as far as like when you break down the organs and everything and how, breath goes into the hearts and goes, then it goes to the lungs and yeah, I mean to the lungs and
Comes
goes
through
to
the
the heart,
lungs,
it
goes to
goes
the
to the
heart and get
heart,
pumped out to
comes
the.
out through with blood,
Mm,
and everything is related. And once we get to understand, what I learned something too from Seven Bowman. I watched that No Judgment again, real quick. He was saying that when you when you um when you overstand, you overshot it. And he said when you understand, you're underneath it. And he
mhm.
was saying the most important part is to understand, to bring it inward. And so just going on about that, but it was very important that I paid attention to that and I was like, wow, that really makes sense. The overstand, you overshot it. You got it, but but to understand it is to bring that all inward. And that's the whole key thing, like what we're talking about right now in the teachings, and then go inward and then find out how the body is moving, how what moves this, what moves that, what moves this. And that's a lot about life that we just seem to overlook is the inward
Right.
part of us. That's where all our love come from. I mean, and then they was telling you, I was reading, I think it was your book where it tells you like when the liver holds this, and then in the stomach it holds this, different organs hold different energies and stuff. And then
Yeah.
so it's just about, proper diet, exercise
That's why
and
you could
learning.
look. You should be able to look at a person's face and see which organs are in distress, if any
Mhm,
are.
mhm.
Bags under the
Under the
eyes is
eyes,
the
dark
kidney,
rings. Hmm.
not the kidney. Yeah, yeah, the kidneys. That means you ain't drinking enough water.
Hmm.
You ain't getting enough sleep.
Hmm.
Things of that nature. The skin, I think, represents the liver.
Hmm.
Skin blotches, things of that nature. Your liver isn't getting what it needs to go through. Any bronchitis or anything like that. Breathing represents the lungs, of course.
Even your lymph nodes. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just like everything is once we start to go ahead, and it's good to learn outwardly what's going on, but the more you focus on inward, and you start to heal the body and you
Well,
actually.
inward normally is the last. First, you kind of get not overstanding, but just the understanding. You're like, okay, this is what it is. This is what they're teaching me. You know what
Mhm,
I'm saying? Then you go through a little a semi understanding of, oh, I can actually have effect on what's going on. When I use
mhm,
overstanding, I use like, oh, I'm in mastery. Oh, okay, now I see the whole plan. It's
mhm,
not a small view. I'm overstanding so I can see an aerial
and
view of what's going on.
mhm. And
You know what
then
I'm saying? Instead of being on the ground, can only see what the eyes can see.
you know what? And and the science and the magic comes in when you go ahead and place it to nature and to the universe and how it works.
Trying to tap
That's
in.
that's right there is when the power comes, like
Trying to tap in. Because all
and
these things we're talking about are parts of the infinite and the eternal. How the science actually works, Jazzy.
mhm,
Spiritual science, how it actually works here on this level, in this time, in this day and age.
mhm.
It's been
See,
working for me. When the spirit jumped in my body and saved my life, I already knew something was going on. So there's a whole nother thing. And every now and then, like I asked you, I was like, damn, when I was talking to that spirit in that fraction of a second, who was I talking to?
mhm,
And who answered?
mhm,
Because it was all done in darkness.
mhm.
I ain't see anything.
Did you see that picture that I put in our text group with the what Miss Aisha drew and it had the universe, it was dark,
Mm-hmm.
and then they had the woman standing in there and then it was light behind it.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing. That took me away right there. It
Ah,
took me
you
to the
like that?
it took me to the whole part where you was talking about how giving birth to the son. You know, that's because you can imagine
SUN/SON.
SON. You can physically imagine like the darkness in the womb, and then the light and giving birth. That's it took me there when I seen that picture. I
But
was like, wow.
that's the symbolism. All that means is the symbolism is starting to open up within you. Those are spiritual gifts. Being able to see something and get the symbolism behind it, not just what it says or does.
Mhm,
Because it all depends on your frame of mind. Are you looking at it as a human? Are you looking at it as an animal? Are you looking at it as a god?
mhm,
What perception are you trying to focus on?
mhm,
Or what mode of thought are you in?
mhm.
Because most people don't have the God consciousness. So they're only looking at it from what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good.
It was the science coming together when I seen that picture. It
Oh,
was
even
just
better.
that's what I'm saying. It's just like, a mother giving birth, you know, like the darkness gave birth, and the womb opened up, and then
Hmm.
you could see the light behind the
Cracking
it was
out from the darkness.
yo, that picture was so fire. And I was like, I gotta put this. I know she did it, Miss Aisha. If you watching, that picture is powerful. That's one of your best works. I think that I've seen that you've done. And if you are interested, it's our spiritual sister, Miss Aisha. She's on she's on Facebook as well. But yeah, mental going inside,
Can't beat it. Whole new world.
it is a whole new world. That's
So so
literally it. It's a
so the
whole new
whole
world.
new world. So the inner you, but this is the thing. Now you have to start to learn how to use that inner energy to heal you, to stay healthy, to stay energized.
Mhm,
You know what I'm saying? At all points. The only time I probably get tired during the day is when I'm doing absolutely nothing or I'm just bored. And that's only because I'm allowing the mind to be bored.
mhm.
Because
And
everything is a controlled mechanism.
yeah, it's really no such thing as bored. I don't really understand that,
When you can say the world slows down,
Yeah, but there's always something else to do.
always.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and then when you get in that mind frame of saying bored or this or
Well,
that,
see,
or
that's when time control starts to come in effect. When you start to say, wait a minute, I'm not bored. I'm just not utilizing my time.
much time, that's exactly what that's exactly what
That's
it
the
is.
problem. Let me
And then
utilize this time. And once you, even in jail, I don't care where you're at, if you utilize your time correctly, you can change a bad thing into a good thing. It's all the
because
perception.
and the whole thing is too, you can change something that's how do you say it balanced at the moment into a bad thing because you allow the mind to wander. You know
Mhm.
the
Or the
what you call it
emotions to take over.
how they say the idle mind is a devil's workshop. The
Devils, yeah,
whole
work,
so
playhouse.
so the whole thing is if you allow yourself to go ahead and think and feel like you're bored, then you start allowing that other part of you to go ahead and try to fulfill, a space when you have control over that time. Like you said, it's just like, hey, I'm not bored. I'm just not utilizing my time effectively. And that's where it comes into play.
Well, yeah. But once you open that Pandora's box, run down that rabbit hole, now you got more control over your time. The problem is when time slips by and we're not aware of it,
Mhm.
whether we're having fun or not. We should
Sometimes this
actually be tuned in. We should be tuned in, not on automatic pilot
the
at all times.
only
That's
time should slip by is when you're resting.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because you're in another space of
it
time
can
at
be,
that
or
point.
you can astral project and keep your consciousness where you go.
Yeah, but
I
that
mean,
that's what I'm saying. That's another level. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah,
You're not in the awake part, in the physical. Here, you could allow yourself to go ahead and be a spiritual, but the physical, the non mundane, everything that we do every day, you that part is at rest. You know what I'm saying? So if you're resting, like you said, then you can go to dreamland or astral travel. But that's the time, that's the only time when you can go ahead and where your time is not really manipulated. It is on a different level, but not as in the physical right now. You go into a spiritual aspect of time at that point because you're on a whole you go to other dimensions and other universes and other parts of inside of you, but during the day it's like work, you know, school, hanging out, doing
But
nothing.
but see, at those for me, only because I've gotten to that. I always look at everything. As soon as I open my eyes, what type of spiritual journey is it going to be today? What lesson is there to be learned? Only if my eyes are open. If I
Mhm,
shut them, I ain't gonna get nothing. So keep my eyes open. Keep my eyes on the prize
mhm,
and go to everything. What people say, what happens to people, everything's just a reflection of me. How I feel about it, don't feel about it, indifferent about it. Do I say something, not say something, move on about my day? All that is a conscious process. Nothing I can say that I try not to work on automatic.
mhm,
When we say automatic people, we just automatic, like you go to work, you do the job. You're really not there. You're there, but you're not there.
mhm,
You're at home, you're doing the dishes, you're watching your favorite show in your head. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
That's that daydreaming. What you want to do with your time.
mhm, mhm. So something like, well, not something. Spirit's like coming to me right now and just saying that if anybody is watching, and maybe it's for me, maybe it's for mental, or maybe it's for everybody, this week, stop, look, and listen.
Pay attention to details. The truth is in the
The
details.
details, yeah, yeah.
I don't care what it is,
Mhm.
what
That's
religion
what
it is. The truth is in the details. And when you start looking, get up too many details, you see you'll start coming off a lot of craziness.
they used to
All
say.
details.
That like well, my ex-wife, she was in the military like you, and then the one thing that, well, she always, they used to say around, uh, we was, she was stationed at NOB Norfolk, so we lived in Virginia Beach, but all the military people around there used to always say the devil lies in the details.
I just flipped it. The truth is in the details.
You know what?
They call it the devil. You know why?
They're both
Because
in it.
it's truths that you don't want to know. Your wife's cheating. Some bullshit. You always finding out some crap. That's why they call it in the details. Most people try to run away from it. No, you want to know the details.
The details
Better
is
for you
where,
to know than to not know.
yeah. And at this point in time in life right now, this whole when this year kicked in, like the age of Aquarius, going forward, and the whole thing is it became the year of knowing, so a lot of the things that, as we said last year and at the beginning of this year, it was just like all the truth going to start being revealed. And nothing, I mean, Cat Williams jumped off right after we started talking about it, start revealing everything about any and everybody. I mean, but if you look at it, a lot of truth has came out as far as public officials. I mean, you name it. Look at the entertainment industry with Diddy. I mean, just all the things that just started to happen. A lot of things are being, there's, the dark is no longer the dark. The light is shining now. You're able to see
Yeah,
a lot of truth.
but now once you the whole this is what I love the beauty. Once you get through the light, you go right back to the darkness. It's not what people call what it is.
Hey, but you know what the whole thing is? What the truth of it all is, no matter how much darkness it was, is that much lightness on the other end. So you know what I'm saying? So no matter how much is coming to light, there's still a lot of darkness on the other side. Because it can't be one more than the other. It has to be balanced. It's just that
Well,
a lot.
it's not a balance. We already established that 93% of space is dark.
No, but what I'm saying,
7%. So
right,
no, but
what
all I'm saying is the darkness isn't it's the lack of objects. It's a
right.
conscious entity that we cannot overstand because we lack that. For some of us, most of us can't understand or do, because that's what they call that demiurge, that darkness. All your horror movies, this thing that's coming to eradicate mankind. Yeah,
No,
that's
yeah, but
Jesus.
but but the
That's
whole
that's
thing is,
what Jesus is supposed to do. He coming to eradicate and clean all this shit up.
but there is objects. That's what we realize. It's not that we know now there's objects, and the only reason why we didn't see the objects because there was no light. There was still consciousness. There were things there. You see what I'm saying? It was just until the light
But it
came.
was in a realm of consciousness.
Right.
We
But those
can't even
other,
understand. Right? No, I'm with you.
right,
I'm
right.
with you. So it's a higher mode of thought. It's that, once again, that mind expansion.
Mm,
You see what I'm saying? We have to think, be able to think bigger, larger, and then think larger.
It's just like it's just like that video. I think I put it in our text group where it showed electric vehicles and cars and trains and stuff. They were already here. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just the lack of knowing. There was no light shined on it. It was in the
Well,
darkness.
I showed you, I think I shared the video before the 1920s. Nigga, anything, any book, any manuscript you can get before the 1920s will have the truth in it. Because after
Right.
that, that's when they started with all this propaganda bullshit.
But that's
What's
what
right?
happened.
What's wrong? New religions, this, that. This is the way we're going to feed you. We're going to turn on this teleli vision, teleli radio, teleli news. We're going to control everything. We're not going to let you think for yourself. If
But
you do think for yourself, you'll be considered crazy.
you know the one thing though, mental, is that a lot of those books have been out of print. They brought them all up, and then a lot of them are stored. And I don't believe I know a lot of those books are over in the
Jasmine,
Vatican.
the books
So,
that we read, not even them books, the books that we got are 100, 200, 300, $400 books. Ain't nobody paying that, bro. I'm gonna be real, nigga. Nobody trying to pay nothing for that for no knowledge. Okay, let's be
that's
real.
and
Let's be real.
that's where it's costly because you're going to pay for what you get. Do you know what I'm saying? So the one thing too is
The
that
devil is in
you
the details.
a lot of those books are coming now. Watch. Like a lot of, because our grandparents and parents they had those books. They're laying around in their houses. You see what I'm saying? You won't discover a lot of that kind of stuff until people start going ahead and ascending. Then you're going to be like, wow. And then that's the recycle of, knowledge, the ones that, for the stuff that's been taken away. It's very few books that's out there. And if somebody's in the knowing, they can go ahead and it's like, look, I found this book from, my grandfather had it. It was like from the 1800s. If
Those
you
be the ones.
if you go ahead and then you put it to a PDF or something like that, and then you can keep that knowledge going.
I would even say read it, understand it, and remake it. Modernize it. Put it up to what's going on here, right here, right then and now. The spirit in you is gonna help because it's an ancestor. Them ancestors back in your great great grandmother, grandfathers, all of them back there, 20 generations gonna help you make it what it is.
Or those
But see,
old houses, them old houses too, that
yeah,
like some that you go and start. That's you know what? It might be a good idea to do state sale. Go to some state sales. You know how when like somebody's 100 years old, then they pass, and then they have the state take over, and then they
hmm
sell stuff. Go in there and look and see what you find. I guarantee you find some stuff
oh
in
yeah.
there that.
But you got to reading is not a premium. No one reads unless they're gonna get paid for it, for a job, for a degree.
Mhm.
Shoot, 90% of Americans that have a degree after college stop reading unless it's for more money on a job or something like that, or for a higher degree.
Mhm.
So we get caught up in this training system. There's no education, so they're not educating you. They're training you to do a job and work in their system. A college degree means you can read a book, memorize it, and write a paper about it.
But it's only to the right. That's what happened. The Rockefellers was the ones that came in, and then they changed the way we learn and learn the
Right.
way that. So all our school systems and everything is based on what they
Changed.
want you to. Yeah, that it's not on true knowledge. It's on
We just said they still teach Christopher Columbus discovered America. Everybody know that he didn't discover shit. Everybody know that now, but it's still in the books and they're still teaching it in the United States somewhere right now. So don't think all they're going to teach you is the bare minimum of how to keep you from being
in
the best
control,
you as a black person. Why?
keep you in control.
Because I don't care where you go, all over the world,
Mhm.
same shit. They know who we are. They know what's happening. They want to hold even tighter control of us now because they know we waking up. The jig is up. So they trying to even lock it down even higher, but you can't. You can't stop something that's a spiritual movement. It's an inner us that's waking up. It has nothing to do with your television, the books you read, your wife, your kids. Nothing to do with that. It's an inner you. You can refuse to accept it. That's part of the game. You have that right. Be like, you know something, I'm gonna roll with what's just going on. I got money in cars, or I got a great family, or you know something, I ain't got it in me to do. You can roll, but I mean, the real you has to emerge. Once you know, and you can testify to that, Jazzy, you can't go back to knowing again. So even if you never know and you was sorry nigga,
You put
once you
those
know,
glasses on.
it's
You
gonna
put them.
change.
How they say you put them glasses
Where
on.
you
You
put the
can't.
glasses, you can't take them off again. Now,
Can't.
once you put on and you know, even if you've never done anything to help it don't matter. Once you know, you automatically gonna do better.
And then the thing is because you become responsible because you do know.
Well, knowing has knowing requires truth. Truth requires the double-edged swords. Some of it's gonna help you, some of it's gonna hurt you. And not hurt you like kill you, hurt you like, oh my God, I didn't know, I didn't think it like that. Stuff like that. Something that you just couldn't fathom. The truth be like, no, this is the truth. This is what it
Hey,
is.
I got to get ready to go though on mental, but I want to say this one last thing too.
Uh-huh.
Um, if you want to know who somebody truly is, give them a title.
Give him a title. I'm not quite sure what that means. Give him a
Yo,
title.
give them a title. Give them a sense of entitlement where,
Oh.
like, give them a title. Rather, it's like a supervisor, group leader,
Fact,
spiritual advisor, armor
fact,
bearer, pastor. You know
fact.
what I'm saying? Give them a title, and you will start to see
The
who they
real them.
truly are. Hey, but I got to go, bro, because I got my clothes already ready. I got
Are
to.
you straight? We just doing a
All right,
quick 30 minute
okay.
for all the people. That's why I ain't even getting to the book, none of that.
We'll
Just
come back on. We'll come
but
back on this week during the
but
week, like
like we
Monday or
said
Tuesday.
before, this is what we talk about all the time. Just
Right, right. We just want to share.
spiritual science.
All right. I love
I'm
y'all. All right.
peace.
Peace, bro.